It sounds almost unreal. $500 billion. That's how much Nvidia, the chip maker at the center of the global AI race, plans to pour into building AI server infrastructure across the United States. The number is so staggering that it's more than the GDP of countries like Austria or Norway. But the real question isn't how much Nvidia is spending, it's why. Because this move isn't just about chips, it's about control over the future of computing itself. For years, Nvidia was known as the company that made graphics cards for gamers. But that image is outdated. Today, Nvidia is the beating heart of the AI revolution. Its chips power everything from ChatGPT and Tesla's self-driving software to medical research labs and Wall Street's trading systems. And now, Nvidia wants to do something unprecedented: build an AI computing empire inside the US. The plan involves constructing massive AI server plants and data centers capable of training the largest models humanity has ever built. Not just one or two, dozens of them, spread across the country. Each AI factory, as Nvidia calls it, will be a supercomputer hub designed to power the next wave of generative models, digital twins, robotics, and scientific breakthroughs. The goal is clear: to bring the brain of artificial intelligence back home, rather than depending on foreign cloud infrastructure. Let's take a step back and understand what this means. Every AI model, from ChatGPT to Gemini to Claude, relies on supercomputers, vast clusters of GPUs that crunch unimaginable amounts of data. But right now, there's a global shortage of these chips and an even bigger shortage of the facilities that house them. Until recently, most of this infrastructure lived inside private clouds owned by Amazon, Microsoft, or Google. But Nvidia's new plan would change that. Instead of just selling chips to cloud providers, Nvidia wants to build the infrastructure itself, in partnership with US states, energy companies, and data giants. It's the biggest vertical expansion the tech world has seen in decades. Imagine Intel building the internet, or Tesla owning every charging station and power grid in America. That's the scale of what Nvidia is attempting. But why now? Because AI demand is exploding faster than anyone expected. Every major US company, from JP Morgan to Disney to Walmart, is trying to integrate generative AI into its operations. Training those systems requires enormous computing power. And the US government, worried about losing its tech edge to China, is pouring billions into domestic chip manufacturing and AI infrastructure. Nvidia sees the writing on the wall. Whoever controls the compute controls the future. And right now, Nvidia holds all the cards. Its chips are the most advanced in the world. Its software ecosystem, like CUDA and DGX Cloud, is unmatched, and its dominance in AI hardware gives it leverage over almost every other tech player on the planet. So this $500 billion plan isn't just an investment. It's a strategic moat. Nvidia is turning itself from a chip maker into an AI nation. But here's where things get interesting and a little concerning. Building these AI factories isn't just about technology. It's about power, energy, and geography. Each AI data center consumes as much electricity as a small city. Cooling the hardware requires massive amounts of water. That's why Nvidia's new facilities are being strategically located near energy sources: nuclear plants, solar farms, and natural gas hubs, across states like Arizona, Texas, and New Mexico. We're watching a digital industrial revolution unfold, one that mirrors the rise of the oil refineries and steel plants of the 20th century. Only this time, instead of oil or coal, the raw material is data, and Nvidia is building the refineries to process it. And the ripple effects could reshape entire industries. For cloud providers like Amazon, Microsoft, and Google, Nvidia's expansion is both a blessing and a threat. On one hand, they need Nvidia's chips to stay competitive. On the other, they're suddenly facing a new rival that's moving into their territory. For US policymakers, it's a dream and a dilemma. Nvidia's domestic investment aligns perfectly with Washington's goal of keeping AI power on US soil. But it also concentrates unprecedented influence in one company's hands. And for smaller tech firms, startups, and research institutions, Nvidia's move could either unlock a new era of access or lock them out entirely, depending on pricing and partnerships. Because if compute becomes the new oil, then Nvidia just became both the refinery and the pipeline. Still, there's another dimension to this story, the human one. The AI boom is often seen through a digital lens, but the real-world footprint is massive. These AI factories will need thousands of engineers, technicians, construction workers, and power specialists. Entire local economies could form around them, tech hubs growing out of small American towns. We're witnessing the creation of a new industrial base, one where silicon replaces steel. And that's exactly what US leaders want. The CHIPS and Science Act, along with new Department of Energy grants, are pushing companies to localize advanced computing infrastructure. Nvidia's $500 billion commitment fits perfectly into that national strategy. But again, it raises one crucial question. Are we decentralizing technology or consolidating it under one giant's control? Because let's be clear, Nvidia's dominance is unlike anything the tech industry has seen in decades. Its chips power OpenAI, Google, Amazon, Tesla, and dozens of the world's largest corporations. It effectively sets the pace of AI innovation. If Nvidia slowed down, the global AI ecosystem would too. That kind of control isn't just economic, it's geopolitical. It's why world governments are racing to subsidize chip competitors, from Intel in the US to TSMC in Taiwan and Samsung in South Korea. Everyone wants a piece of the AI future, but right now, Nvidia holds the keys. So what does this mean for you? The everyday user, the business owner, the developer? It means the tools you rely on, from cloud storage to search engines to video platforms, will soon depend on infrastructure built and controlled by a handful of companies. It means the performance of your AI apps, the privacy of your data, and the reliability of your digital world could hinge on how well these AI factories operate. It's the invisible backbone of the AI age, and Nvidia is building it brick by digital brick. There's a certain irony to all of this. The company that began by making gaming chips now sits at the center of one of the largest industrial expansions in modern history. It's not just powering the AI revolution, it is the revolution. But revolutions come with costs: environmental, political, and social. So as Nvidia's $500 billion dream becomes reality, one question remains. Will these AI factories democratize computing power for everyone? Or create a new digital empire with one company sitting at the top?